remember? So today we're going to start Unit 9. And for that, I have some questions before we start the class. Remember this question, have you ever broken your arm? Have you ever, let's see, oh, there are more people coming in. Cut your finger? Have you ever burned your hand? Have you ever had a toothache? I actually have an anecdote with this burning hand thing. When I was 14 and a half years old, I was cooking tortilla, and there was a lady who was taking care of us, and she was watching soap operas. You know soap operas? Telenovelas. And I was cooking tortilla. And while I was cooking tortilla, I was like in a hurry, and I wanted to grab all the tortillas at once. And what I did is I stuck the fork in the, I think there were 5 tortillas, so I stuck the fork in the 5 tortillas. And then I was holding, of course, the handle of the pan. And when I did, like I stuck the fork, it slipped. And what do you think happened? The oil, everything slid on me, and I burned my hand, I burned my belly, and I burned my leg. It was horrible. I actually had like blister all over. My mom was, the lady freaked out, and she was like, don't cry, don't cry. And she put toothpaste all over my skin, and it was terrible, horrible. It was the worst pain until the nurse had to take out the water, you know, inside. When you burn yourself, you have blisters, right? So she had to take out the water that was inside of my skin, or inside of the blister, and then she peeled my skin. So she did that 3 days. So it was terrible. Okay, so that was my story. Okay, so now that we did this, how are they called? Broken your arm, cut a finger, burned your hand, had a toothache. Well, had a toothache, maybe it's not in this category, but since I use this picture, is I wanted to introduce as part of vocabulary. Can you write in the chat box? How are they called? Broken arm, cut finger, burn your hand. Do you have any idea? Can you hear me? You cannot hear?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So do you have any idea or how to call, or how are they called? No? Injuries. They are called injuries. We can call them also accidents, but they are called injuries. Of course, here I only have some of them, but there are many other injuries that you have some of the vocabulary in the book. Okay. Okay. And how do they usually happen? How do you think they usually happen? No, injuries and accidents are not the same, but what I'm trying to explain is that in this case, we can say that they are synonyms because you were doing something when an accident happened. For example, you cut your finger or you broke your arm, things like that, okay? So how do they usually happen? So I already put the picture. How do we usually get injured? In some cases, when we are playing soccer, maybe, right? Or sometimes when we are playing basketball, or sometimes when we are cooking, yes. Well, that's the funny thing though. I put soccer, then I put basketball, and they are considered sports. But cooking, do you think cooking? I think cooking should be a sport. I mean, you have to manage many skills in order to cook something. All your senses have to be focused. Yes, doing exercise. Yes, you have an accident when you drive a car. Yes, Manuel. Okay, so we have basketball, we have soccer, we have cooking, and we have horseback riding. So usually, or most of the time, when we have injuries or some sort of accidents, it happens while we are playing at maybe sports or doing something else. In my case, I say cooking is a sport, a very tough one, because you have to manage there are many skills that you need to manage in order to cook. Sometimes there are people that while they are cooking, they, how do you say, they burn their water. That there is a phrase that people say that's like a funny thing. Okay, what else? What do you think is the most dangerous sport? So based on the pictures on the picture that we have here, what do you think is the most dangerous sport? Can you write on the chat box? We have weightlifting. Weightlifting is when you have muscles, you go to the gym and you do the weightlifting. Then we have football, American football. Then you have baseball, tennis, soccer, boxing, bicycling or cycling. Can you write it down? Yes, weightlifting, I agree. Weightlifting is a dangerous sport. Also, boxing, rugby, yes. You can add more sports. There, the ones that I wrote here are some that came to my mind. Yeah, football. I actually watched a movie the other day, and about football. Yeah, they actually get injured, really bad injury in their brains. Their brain is crazy. Yeah, they crash the handles. That's true. Oh my God, Jonathan, I'm sorry. Your friend lost a hand playing rugby. Ooh, you broke 2 fingers. Yes. Okay, so the majority said that weightlifting, football, and boxing are the most dangerous ones, right? Okay, yes, it might be.
Football is American football.
Yes, American football.
Okay.
Because if we say soccer for football, Okay, so what do you think these people were doing when they got injured? We already said and talked about that, right? In this case, for example, this guy, what were they doing when they got injured? This guy. Can you write in the chat box?
They go out.
He was playing basketball when he sprained his ankle. You know, sprain is esguince. Esguince, I think is in Spanish. Sprain his ankle. What about this other picture? Ankle, yes. Is your... Can you see what he's holding his foot and his leg. So he's in between. Yes, ankle. Okay, and okay, so what was she doing? She was cooking when she burned her hand, right? How many of you have burned your hand during this quarantine? While you were cooking, while you were cooking? How many of you? Everybody goes, me, right? Okay. Everybody, the thing is that after the quarantine, everybody is going to have like a new profession. Everybody will be, they're like, what is your profession? Chef. I can cook everything. So because everybody goes YouTube and cook everything. Okay. And what about her? Or maybe it's a he. She was cycling or bicycling when she fell. The injury that she has or he has in his knee is called abrasion. In Spanish, it's I think raspadura, right? So abrasion, A-B-R-A-S-I-O-N, abrasion. Okay, so what do the sentences have in common? Yeah, Natasha said that she's scared of cooking because of the oil. Yes, there are actually tutorials of people putting some sort of protection while they're cooking with oil. They're funny videos. Okay, can you guess? Yes, the sentences talk about accidents or injuries. Yeah. What else? They have bad luck. Past continuous, very good, Victoria. There you go. So they have was, were, and the verb in ing form. And that is called the past continuous. Very good. Okay, so when do we use the past continuous form? We use the past continuous to talk about something in progress. So I was cooking, I was playing, I was bicycling, I was boxing. So something in progress at a specific time and in the past. Okay? And we often use the past continuous to talk about something in progress when another action, usually in the simple past, took place. So as in the example, he was playing basketball when he sprained his ankle. Remember, sprain is esguince. Okay. We use the helping verb be, not do in past continuous statements and questions. So for I, he, she, it, we use was and the verb in ing form. So in this case, we have the example was playing. If you want to make a negative sentence, you go was not playing or wasn't playing in the shortened version. And when we use you, we, and they, we use were, the helping verb, were, sleeping, verb in ing form, or were not sleeping, or weren't sleeping. Okay? For questions, yes, no questions. Were you sleeping when you fell? Yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Actually, my daughter fell when she was sleeping, fell off the bed, and she actually broke her part of her arm. Okay, what were you doing? I was playing soccer. So here we have a yes/no question with a helping verb in past, and then we have a WH word or WH question with the helping verb, and helping verb will be in the past and the ing form. Okay. What else do the sentences have in common? So you also say they talk about accidents, they talk about injuries, they have the ing form. What else? So we're talking about past continuous form. The teacher today is like, no idea? Okay, when and while. We use when or while to show our relationship between two past events. So in sentences with when or while, the past continuous expresses an action in progress, and the simple past event interrupts that action. So, I was boiling noodles. That's one sentence and is in past continuous form. And the other past event that interrupt the continuous form, I burned my hand. So you can say, I burned my hand while I was boiling noodles. Okay? What else? The word while begins the past continuous clause and places the focus on the continuous action. So he fell while he was rock climbing. Or you can say, while he was rock climbing, he fell. The word when begins the simple past clause and places the focus on the interrupting action. So when he fell, he was rock climbing. He was rock climbing when he fell. How are we doing? You got it? Oh my God, teacher, too much information today. Are we good? Drink some water. Okay, now let's practice. We're going to complete the sentences with when or while. Yeah? So, first question. Write it on the box, on the chat box. So I have, Kelly was skiing, she broke her arm. Remember, when or while? One focuses on the past continuous, the other one focuses on the simple past. Yeah, while Kelly was skiing, she broke her arm. Very good, excellent. Second question. We were driving home, a bus crashed into us. Yes, when a bus crashed into us. Very good. Third question. The lights went out. I was taking a shower. Yes, when the lights went out, I was taking a shower. And the last one. Amy cut her finger. She was making dinner. Amy cut her finger while she was making dinner. Very good. You are all experts. Great. Okay, so someone was worried about the test. So now you're all experts. You're going to have 100 if we have a test. Okay, another exercise. Complete the sentences. Use the correct form of the verb in parentheses. So we have burn and cook in parentheses. So she burned her finger while she was cooking dinner. Second sentence. I, and we have in parentheses, walk and hit. Remember, guys, that there are regular and irregular verbs. So with the irregular verbs, you have to learn them, memorize them. Okay, so I was walking down the street when I hit my head on a sign. Okay, third and last sentence. I, and in parentheses, we have run and fall. Yes. And I probably made. I was running to class when I fell down the stairs. This is an irregular verb. Fall and hit are irregular verbs. That is something that you need to practice. Irregular verbs, memorize them. Okay. You can practice at home with your book. Let me show you. Can you still see my screen? Yes? No? Okay, in your books you have on page 133 the grammar reference in where you can review the explanations, and then you have 2 exercises there to practice. And in order to review vocabulary, because remember the vocabulary that we were learning today, it's about injuries, sports, and in the book you have more vocabulary about injuries. So that is on page 56. Here we go. If you don't have your book, no, in the platform there is no Unit 9 yet. There will be soon. So after the class, you will get the Unit 9. And remember that this meeting also is being recorded, so don't worry. So in page 56, student book, you have the vocabulary and also a conversation. If you don't have your book, remember that you can practice online in this link website. Is Oxford University Press. Here you have to go to learning resources and then go to smart choice, and then you click in your book. I think you are using this one, right? Pink. So you click there and you can do the exercises. Okay? Very good. So that's like, teacher, I don't have the book, but you have online resources. You can do it. And remember, you have to memorize the irregular verbs, okay? Because you already done grammar present perfect. So for present perfect, there is not only simple past irregular verbs, then you have the past participle. So that's a long list. Okay. So let's continue. What are they doing? Can you tell me what are these people doing? Can you write it down? Yes, they're having fun. Dancing, very good. Dancing, what else? Singing, maybe. Live a life, yeah. Clapping.
Clapping.
Yes, very good. And laughing, right? Okay. And where are they? They're at home. Very good. In the kitchen, maybe, right? Or maybe in the dining room. They're having fun, they're happy. Very good. So let's listen to what happened or what were they doing. So this is my family. We went on vacation to Uruguay. There were many things that we did during that time. We went sightseeing, danced, sang, etc. Everything was fine until my father was walking in the park and tripped over a rock and fell. The same day, I tried to cook pancakes and burned my hand. And to make things worse, my sister wanted to eat orange, and while she was peeling the orange, she cut her finger. My mom was the only who was fine and had to take care of all of us. Next time, we have to be more careful. Okay, so this is a conversation, or actually a story, and I used past continuous and simple past. Right? So some of you are, I think, doing this at home. There are many things that we are doing at home. So now you can practice also in your book. Let's check. On page 57, there is a conversation. There is a conversation between Anna and Anthony. Based on the picture, can you tell me what happened to Anna, or what is she having, or what happened to her? What injury? Yes, it was a tragic story. The story of vacation. Okay, she broke her arm. Yes, Anna might broke her arm. And what about Anthony? He might also broke his arm, right? Or maybe elbow. Yes, another thing that you need to learn for vocabulary and add, remember that you have to search, to do your research. We have some vocabulary for injuries, and you also have to know the parts of the body in order to tell a story. If you have another injury in another part of your body, those are things that you need to search, parts of the body. Okay, so Anna probably broke her arm, says Natasha, Sophie. Yeah, she crashed into someone. Yeah. Okay, so how do you call this thing that she has on her arm? That is holding her arm. How do you call that? Cast. Cast. Yeso. Well, I'm not sure if that is a yeso though, but I mean, it's a cast, right? So the white thing that you wrap around your, that the doctors wrap around your arm, your leg, when you broken part of some part of your body, it's called cast, C-A-S-T. And the other thing that Anthony has around her neck, his neck and his arm, that is cabestrillo in Spanish, right? And in English, it is called, I have my petit here, sling. I have to do my research, you see? Teachers also have to study before giving classes because sometimes there are new vocabulary. English is not that just, oh, I finished my, I have my certificate and that's it. No, you have to keep practicing because there are always new words that we don't even know in Spanish and we have to learn. And if you don't know the specific word, what you could do is paraphrase. So the thing that you put around your neck and holds your arm so you don't move your arm, yes, that is cabestrillo in Spanish, and in English is sling. I will write it down, S-L-I-N-G, and cast is yeso. Yeah, people sometimes get injured when while they're practicing soccer or any other sports. So are there any questions? You can write your questions on the chat box. There is also more exercises on the next page in where you have language practice. Page 58, and then you have page 59 where you have listening. No more questions? Are you still there? Can you hear me? No, you can't hear me, or no, there aren't any questions? No questions. Are you sure? You want to review one more time the part where I was giving you the grammar?
What is sling, teacher?
I'm sorry?
Sling.
Sling is the cabestrillo.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wow, too. I just learned that word today. No, yesterday, sorry. Okay, so before we finish the meeting, I want to go over again the grammar. Okay, one more time. So then I will leave you alone and eat your milanesa. Okay, so the sentences have in common that, okay, was, were, verb, ing form, and this is called the past continuous form, right? We use the past continuous to talk about something in progress at a specific time in the past. And these, we often use the past continuous to talk about something in progress when another action, usually in simple past, took place. We use the helping verb be, not do, in past continuous statements and questions. I, he, she, it, was, and you, we, they, were. And here we have the questions. Were you sleeping when you fell? That is a yes/no question. Yes, I was. No, I wasn't. And WH word or WH question, what were you doing? I was playing soccer. The other thing that the past continuous form has is that they have when and while. So use when or while to show a relationship between two past events. In sentences with when or while, the past continuous expresses an action in progress and the simple past event interrupts that action. And the word while begins the past continuous clause and places the focus on the continuous action. He fell while he was rock climbing, or while he was rock climbing, he fell. And the word when begins the simple past clause and places the focus on the interrupting action. So when he fell, he was rock climbing. He was rock climbing when he fell. Questions? You got it now? Okay, yes, that was the part that I wanted to make sure that you understand. When to use while and when to use when. Yeah, it's like a tongue twister. You know tongue twister? Yes? Okay, I hope you all understand. I guess you did because you were like chatting. Since the teacher knew you all, you were all like writing. So I guess this time your tongue is not gonna be tired. Your fingers are. So practice, practice, practice. Remember last time I showed you a link in where you can also practice your listening skill, because when I was in one of the breakout rooms, someone said, I cannot understand sometimes when you are speaking. And if I go too fast, you have to tell me, teacher, don't speed. I am sometimes Speedy Gonzalez, I speak. So last time I showed you a link, remember? Lyrics training. And here you go. Lyrics training to practice listening. Also, you can practice vocabulary, grammar, you write or multiple choice. And it's fun. Okay? So you can also practice, do some exercises here, or you can, you can go to the Oxford University Press and go to, let's go back, learning resources, hit your book and do the exercises. And of course, if you have your book, do the exercises that you have in your book. Okay? Thank you guys very much for being today.